connected to this, what is still a missing person case. I don't think anybody's called it a crime yet, right?
No, it's still a missing persons case. Let's read the latest on what we have here regarding the search warrant. I have this here. The FBI executing a court-authorized search warrant today at the Laundrie residence in Northport, Florida, relevant to the Gabby Petito investigation. No further details can be provided since this is an active and ongoing investigation. This coming from FBI Tampa, tagged FBI Denver. So what's going on? This is live here, folks, in the center of your screen. Walt Pito, JB Buno here with you. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay here with you live. We do expect there to be some updates here in the hours ahead as we learn more here. All the immense pressure, of course, on law enforcement from just the public and the weight of all of the public pressure coming down here on wanting there to be results, especially after the news that we heard yesterday, Walt, as far as Gabby Petito and what's believed to be her remains found there in Northwest Wyoming. So here we are here, a court-authorized search warrant here, and let's make this clear here as well. Because a lot of folks still are wrapping their brains around this. We don't know where Brian is. Brian is still a missing person. And so while they might have something maybe, and Walt brings up a good point here, might be electronically here that leads them to now finally have a court-authorized search warrant today, Brian himself is still missing. And it's going to be very curious to see when we find out what the details of this warrant are, if we are going to find out details of exactly what the warrant is, because warrants can range. They can, of course, they come there's a variety of different types of search warrants out there. In that, are they going into the house to retrieve one particular item, Walt? Or are they going in, are they able to take anything that they find necessary to assist them in trying to find justice for Gabby?
And the story will be in the affidavit once we get that. We should be able to get that hopefully today. The affidavit, obviously, you go, in a case of a warrant, when you get a warrant, you go to a judge, you say, Judge, generally you have to be pretty specific. And those specifics sometimes, oftentimes will tell us what police are looking for. And they'll also give us some detail about what they're looking for. So for all we know, they obviously know more than they're telling us at this point. That we did a video earlier, I think about 14 minutes ago, of apparently Mrs. Laundrie being taken into a van, an FBI van.
I'm going to see if I can bring that up here and see if we have that here available to us. I'll pass along a note here to our team if we can get that video turned around here. But that was how long ago would you say, Walt?
13 minutes ago, I'm seeing it on Twitter. So I'm not sure if we have it in or not, but we do know, again, FBI is there, and if they're there, you brought up a really good point. If they're there, they're looking for something that is in that warrant affidavit. And we're going to have to wait to see what happened. Again, though, to recap, the body was found over the weekend, waiting on the final results of that. But even as the FBI said that, they also offered condolences to the family of Gabby Petito. So it makes you think there's something identifiable on that body. They're pretty sure it is, but obviously dotting their I's and crossing their T's, they're not willing to say it's her. And they also did not offer us any indication on the cause of death. And so at this point, we don't know the cause of death. And we also, again, interestingly enough, while there is crime scene tape around that house and the FBI is there, and the FBI was seen taking Brian's mom away, possibly just to get her out of the way. Not necessarily because she has anything to do with this, but they're searching the house. They probably want to be alone in that house as they search for it, search the house. So even with that, Brian Laundrie is, at least from what we can tell, a person of interest. And it would be a pretty safe bet, it seems, to think that could change today, that it will be more than that. And
there are a lot of commenters here. For all of our commenters here joining us here on WFLA Now, great to have you with us here, and always wish that the circumstances were better, especially this week here with the subject matter that we're talking about here, continuing to talk about Gabby Petito, and now, of course, the focus really shifting to Brian Laundrie. And we were live last night with you on WFLA Now for that heartbreaking press conference. And I remember we preached to people to allow there to be a moment for Gabby last night after we had, of course, that press conference, and you saw the FBI spokesperson there, who, Walt, was visibly upset, shaken by the news that he had to deliver and by what they had discovered there in Northwest Wyoming. And I remember that we were on stream last night and we had preached that there be a moment here just to honor Gabby. We took you live to Northport, Florida, where a memorial was set up outside of City Hall. But now this morning, waking up, checking Twitter, checking Facebook, checking Instagram, checking my email and everything else, all the people that have been messaging me, and people now say, okay, we want justice for Gabby. We want there to be justice in this case. And if you think that I'm hearing it, imagine what the FBI is hearing, imagine what Northport Police is hearing, and imagine what they have been hearing over the last several days here. The calls, Walt, for justice here in this case are unbelievably loud here and emphatic and emotional, and people here want there to be resolution sooner rather than later. People, I took messages from people. They don't want this to be one of those cases that lingers on for days and then weeks and then months. And then before you know it, the year is 2025 and we still don't know what happened to Brian Laundrie. People want there to be justice as soon as possible and to track down Brian now. And the year is 2021, Walt. We talked earlier this week. You would think we have technological means here more than ever before to find somebody that is out there, somebody who has vanished. And of course, he is a missing persons here. So you would hope that where we are technologically, we can get results faster now than we would in perhaps the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
But think about it, though. A couple points there. First of all, the outpouring of sorrow for this girl. I think part of that is, again, it's 2021, and she had opened up her life as on social media about what she was doing. They both had been this couple that had thousands of followers, and then of course now they have thousands more. And I think people maybe in some way they'd been minor celebrities on social media, and then of course it blew up into a infamy as opposed to fame. But still, that I think draws us toward Gabby and even Brian to some degree. But then back to the modern technology. As much technology as we have, Brian, if he doesn't have his phone, he chose a place that his parents said he knows very well, the Carlton Reserve, 25,000 acres, 80 miles of trails. This is a guy that has some experience, I must think, at camping and living outside. I know they had a van, but they were camping in very isolated areas. So he probably has some skills to hide pretty well. And that particular area, we know from our reporters who have been out there, the electronics don't work that well out there. I think it's still possible to hide if you're in the wilderness. It's just a matter of once you come out of the wilderness. I think your point is well made. Once you come out of the wilderness, his face is everywhere. We had a report that somebody spotted someone who looked like him in Jacksonville. One of our reporters had heard that. I think Allison Henning had heard that because she used to work in Jacksonville. So yeah, once you're out of the wilderness, it's going to be tough to stay private, especially with the focus and the visuals that we have of this case. Think about it. We've had these missing persons cases before that turn into much worse, but have we had video, so much video of the person of interest? Think about it. We've seen Petito stand. We know how tall he is. We know how he looks. We know what he sounds like. We know his gestures. We know him probably better than any suspect we've had in quite a while, I think.
We're queuing up, and I'm all over the place here, folks, because we have a lot of feeds here now. In fact, we almost have, I believe that Eagle 8 HD, our chopper, is going to be at the scene here momentarily. Again, we don't know exactly what's going to unfold here today. So it's all hands on deck, and we're going to be here with you live on WFLA now to bring you the very latest and to talk to you. I know we have a lot of #HJB, #HeyWalt comments here. Across social media, Facebook Live, Twitter in the comment section, YouTube in the comment section. Just bear with us here. We're just getting a lot of information here, and then we're gonna start to take your questions. And again, our commenters, our viewers here have been very much part of this story over the last week or so. So we want to feature you because so many times there has been an excellent point, an excellent observation, or an excellent question that comes out of our #HJB or #HeyWalt comment section. So we'll get to those comments here. We'll animate them on screen if you use the hashtag
social media has played. I mean, this is such a what you do here. Obviously, I've said this to you off camera before, is very unique. I'm not sure anybody else is doing that. So that's a unique point, that what you're doing, obviously, and then you add to it the unique nature of this particular case with a woman offering pictures and snippets of her life for weeks, and then of course everything being caught on the end on the police body cameras, which again are relatively new. It is such a modern case, and I think that's why you're getting those tips out there, because there's always internet sleuths over the past decade, but there's much more of an opportunity to do that, and a lot of people are doing that with this case.
So okay, I have the video queued up here, and to all the commenters who have been commenting at me and saying to drink hot tea, thank you. I did get the hot tea eventually. It just took a little bit longer. Again, my voice not sick, just a long week of streaming here, folks, on this story. So let's get to some of that video here. Okay, so I want to make this perfectly clear. We are looking here in the center of your screen right now at live video, but there was video earlier
of the mom.
Yes, and we're gonna
a van.
Now, what I have now is the raw recording in our system here at WFLA. So we'll kind of scrub through it. And scrubbing through it, like jumping from point to point here as you would in any video online. What we'll try to do is we'll try to find those points here. So I'm going to bring up this video. We're going now from live to non-live, from live to moments ago. And let's see what we have here. Here's some of the clips. Okay, so this is the scene here, Walt, earlier. And it looks like this is
an FBI agent there in the foreground appears,
and
right?
What might be a reporter there taking video. Okay, this was right when the scene was starting to unfold here, folks. You're looking here at raw video.
There, yeah.
Let's see here now. Scrubbing ahead here. Okay, somebody.
That looks like an onlooker.
Speaks volumes to how the public is really gravitating towards this story. I don't know if that person was allowed to be there or not. Some more FBI personnel here in gear here at the home. All right, we're scrubbing forward. More photographers.
Northport police officer, more than likely. That seems to be the same FBI agent. It seems like we've spotted at least two there.
I'm looking for the video of the mother of
another FBI agent.
And we'll see if we can scroll ahead here. Scrolling ahead. Okay, here. So what do we have here? FBI.
So there's perimeter FBI agents, and this guy perhaps is developing the crime scene inside the Laundrie's house.
And I want to just preface, as we wait for this video here to go through all the highlights of the video of this morning, and I was rushing in here to get here live with our audience here. We're scrubbing through this, and I'm seeing this for the first time.
Me too.
Walt is seeing this for the first time. Welcome to 2021 as far as the way that we present news to you. So this is raw video from moments ago here outside of the Laundrie household. What you're seeing is what we're seeing here for the first time. So looking here again at that same FBI agent, continuing to scrub through here. Okay, back here now outside of the house. What appears to be a law enforcement vehicle here, right up on the front lawn of the house.
Now the video.
Now you have to wonder. I want to pause this here for a second, Walt. You have to wonder here. Did they come in blazing? Because they're parked right on the front lawn where we were on Friday night, and that's right outside the front door there.
You know what? When you're preserving a scene, and we're not going to call it a crime scene at this point, but when you're preserving a scene, you do not come in. You come in unannounced, and I think in a case where where you have parents of a 22-year-old who is missing, I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. And keep in mind, this is the family criticized heavily over the last week or so for not coming forward and sharing anything they knew about where Gabby was last seen. So the FBI probably has some of the same frustrations that the general public has, but of course they're trying to gather evidence, so they want to come in as a surprise, no doubt about that.
Let's also remind. Okay, so what do we have here? Some agents.
I think you're going to see the video I saw was the mom going into that vehicle that is parked on the lawn. So if we have that's
reminder. I have to remind folks this is not live. Okay, I'm monitoring the live feed here on a separate screen, and we can go to the live video if anything happens. Tap at the touch screen here, and we're live. But this is from again a short time ago. So live content. We'll be coming back here as soon as we have something to show you. But right now, it's just the same scene.
To the point we were making earlier about the social media connection of both the people who never met Gabby, the people who know Gabby, and then of course just the followers of this story. I mean, one of the key tips came from another blogger, again a relatively modern job, Shannon Baker out of Spring Hill, saying that she's a travel blogger, and on a trip she remembers recognizing the 2012 white Ford van that we've seen that is now in Northport police custody. And she shared that video with both the parents of Gabby Petito and said actually in one of our stories that she had a tearful talk with Miss Petito's mom about what it meant and how she wished that Gabby could come home alive. But she also, that video from the Spring Hill woman played a role in, we believe, helping investigators go to the exact location of the Grand Teton National Park. And we talk about the vast nature of the reserve in Venice, Florida, but 25,000 acres, Carlton Reserve. But think about the Grand Teton National Park. Yeah. If the woman from Spring Hill doesn't have that video, which had the van in a particular location, we haven't found that. I don't think they've found that body yet.
And I was talking about, we have a hashtag HJB comment coming up here. We see a lot of them. Hashtag HWalt, hashtag HJB. But let me make this clear. We were talking about this on stream last night. While there's a lot of misinformation, landmines of falsified information out there, as far as the rabbit hole that is places like TikTok and Reddit, there are some really good people out there trying to do good by this story, and I want to commend those people, because there are good people out there that are helping carry this story forward. And in a day and age where there's countless, I remember talking about how the people were going through Yellowstone webcam video trying to find evidence, like people at home tapping the space bar on their computer, going frame by frame looking for the van. I mean, people that are really helping, as far as now the FBI and I think law enforcement would say we appreciate the tips, but they get so much misinformation on their call line that it can be sometimes a distraction for them. But I just want to commend for a moment the people that are trying to do some good out there, and people that, like you've been talking about, people that have been doing good with the van video, of course, that came out in the last 36 hours.
And I think we get a lot of tips here that we have to go through, and some of them end up as stories. But I can tell you, you have to look at all of them. I'm sure law enforcement is the same way, and they know that all they need is that one tip that will get them the information they need. And I think we're back live here. I think that in this case, obviously, now, as you brought up, will somebody be able to spot Mr. Laundrie so that we can, so that police can talk to him and ask him what happened? Or will the forensic analysis of the body tell us something before they're able to speak to Laundrie? That's what we need to find out next.
New developments here, folks. I believe that we have Eagle 8 HD at the scene here momentarily. I want to address one question that is coming through a lot in our comment section. And I promise, folks, we just have a lot going on right now as far as the developments here in this story and what we're trying to catch up on as far as what has transpired since what we believe to be an unannounced visit here, as Walt was talking about, again, showing up here at the Laundrie household this morning, the tape put up here. But let's talk about the tape here, because Kristen Russell here, hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt, if the house is called a crime scene, doesn't that mean there is a crime? This is a great question, it's so obvious, but it's
funny. I was going to say something about that. That's not, we call it crime scene tape, but it
could be do not cross.
It probably says warning tape. That
do not cross.
The tape goes up. Yeah, they just want to preserve as much as they can so nobody walks on it. That's more than likely why they took the mom away. You want no interference. If you're gonna analyze that house the way they probably will, you want no interference whatsoever, and you don't want anybody stepping on that lawn. You don't want anybody walking near the lawn. You don't want anyone walking near the house. So great question, but we do not know this is a crime yet. We still don't know the cause of death, and the cause of death will tell us a lot. Obviously, that's probably the next most important piece of this puzzle that we'll hear. And do we hear that? Do we hear that from Brian, or do we hear that from the forensic analysis out of Wyoming? Or Denver, probably at this point.
Yeah, and this might, for our commenters here, I've had enough comments like this one asking about the crime scene tape. I'm just going to ask, our crews out there, we're waiting for something to happen here. So I'm asking our crews here with a quick note, just to let us know, what does what does the tape say? And it's
ridiculous because the tape doesn't change. It's not like they have a warning. If
they don't have the right tape, it's just yellow tape. I know that's silly, but you're
preserving an area, we don't know why yet, but if the FBI is there, the FBI is part of the crew that found the body. The FBI is communicating with their agents, are communicating. It would seem to me the logic is that the FBI out of Denver, that's working the Wyoming part of this, communicated with the FBI out of Tampa, and more than likely that is how you got your search warrant, and that's why they're there. But they're not telling us yet, and the FBI generally won't tell us anything.
Yeah, and I know that the tape is a very small and probably meaningless thing, but considering the amount of comments that we've asked about whether or not this is officially a crime
bottom line
scene,
is crime scene tape, or a warning tape goes up on things that are not crimes all the time.
All right, let's show you this. Eagle 8 HD live over the scene now, just arriving here in Sarasota County. So this is now a live picture here of Brian Laundrie's home here. You're going to see some intermittent signal breakups here because we're here in Tampa. Of course, this going out to Northport, Florida, a little bit a ways away here, but still part of the coverage area. So we'll still be able to maintain a very clear signal here. You'll just see it like right here. You'll be able to see some signal pauses and signal breakups there. So this is the backyard of the home here. They were just showing us the front of the house here, but there's just a shot of the entire property here. So there you see, when I said law enforcement vehicles pulled right up to the front door, I was wondering here maybe 5-10 minutes ago, did they come in blazing? Did they rush right into the scene?
There's no doubt.
And there's the silver Ford Mustang convertible.
They wanted to get in that house as quickly as possible.
And there's the silver Ford Mustang convertible that we're talking about.
When you get a warrant, that means you're going in. You're not asking for permission to go in. You're going in. It makes complete sense for them to go in quickly, just in case something could be destroyed that they want to see.
All right, so we've got Eagle 8 HD.
And there's
here.
the media on the other side of the street. You see I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 crews. Wow.
All right, I'm queuing up a side-by-side here,
BMW
folks.
Parked in the model home.
Here, let's see if we can. Hold on, everybody. We're queuing up here. Some video here from earlier, some new video here. Again, I'm bringing in a raw camera video from right when this scene began to unfold here. So I'm going to try my very best here to bring you up here side by side.
Appreciate it.
And here we have it. And let's show you now a split screen. Queuing this all up here on the touch screen, folks. Okay, so
we do have this is a tweet from a individual and this was 4 minutes ago, who also said parents were escorted out of house moments ago.
All right, so now let's see. This is new camera feed video from earlier, and we'll see if we have any more interesting video from on the ground. So on the left side of your screen, everybody, is live from Eagle 8 HD. On the right side of your screen is video, our raw camera feed from earlier, right when we got there, right when we hit record, right when we started the feed. And we'll start to see if anything sticks out here to our audience here joining us on WFLA now.
Well, there they are in the backyard. Is that an FBI agent? It's hard to tell.
With holding paper in their hand, it would appear to be. Okay, one more time. Left side of your screen is live. Right side of your screen is a
left
raw
side's
camera.
live.
Yes, left live. Right side of your screen.
So I'm
raw
not sure
from
who that
earlier.
woman is, but I can't see the. Let's see. Well, they appear to be looking behind the shed.
And they're photographing behind the shed here on the left side of your screen.
The person who's not in gear seems to be taking the pictures. And now they're coming to the front of the shed. So, and they have the warrant, and I'm guessing that's the warrant. Do they have a warrant for the shed?
And I wonder if they're, just kind of going over the paperwork here to see what they have access to, what they don't have access to. And again,
nice job, Eagle 8, by the way.
Yeah, Eagle 8 providing us here. And I believe, is it Paul Lamison? Paul Lamison?
Yeah, Paul Lamison's up there.
Let's kind of just show you everybody, Paul Lamison, if it is Paul. And there he is, our chief photographer here, WFLA News Channel 8, does an amazing job here for us. And again, follow him online, folks. He's a great follow as far as covering the Tampa Bay area from the sky. Let's show you here, everybody, again, the split screen from earlier. And let's kind of scrub forward here now and see if we can find that video that we're talking about of the Laundrie, of Brian Laundrie's mother. And I'm scrubbing on the right side of your screen, trying to find any highlights or anything new here that we haven't seen before. So showing some video towards the backyard. Here's some equipment being brought in. Probably this is equipment to retrieve evidence. As we see here, a lot of the vehicles, and it looks like just a lot of stuff going in and out of the house. Can we just kind of point that out here, Walt, for a second? That it looks like a lot of
in the shed at this point.
Let's go full score. Let's go.
It looks like
not seeing too much here from the raw camera feed. So let's go.
Earlier, I will tell you, earlier in the video that Paul had, or the live video Paul had, the shed door was closed. Shed door is now open. So obviously, they have perhaps, from whatever they know, they've pinpointed something that involves that shed.
I'm going to see if we can bring in Paul on radio here and see if we can bring Paul Lamison in to provide us with what he's seeing here from the sky. And if we can bring him in here, we will. And let's see if we can communicate with Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison. Oh, we can't. We're coming up here, and I cannot, because we're coming up here on the 11 a.m. newscast here on WFLA News Channel 8 that begins in 3 minutes. So Paul is standing by here for a live report. We might be able to listen in to Paul's live report here momentarily, but I cannot radio in to Paul when he's preparing for the newscast. So we'll have Paul here momentarily to tell us what he's seeing here from Eagle 8 HD. JB Buno, Walt Buteau, 8 on your side, senior investigator here with us live on WFLA Now. And we'll continue to take your hashtag, Hey JB, hashtag, Hey Walt comments here in the Facebook Live comment section. And you know what? Let's bring this one. You were just talking about this, Walt, and we'll bring this one in here from, and let me make this clear. I have to do this. I stop myself every time before I'm about to animate a comment on screen. How this works on WFLA Now is that you see the hashtags here on the left and right side of your screens, hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt. You see them on the yellow stripes there. You can use that hashtag, either of those two hashtags, to get our attention here. And then we can actually animate your comment on screen, animate like Wendy's comment here on screen. But it shows, of course, your name and your profile picture. If you don't want that information, if you don't want to be part of our live stream here, then just don't use the hashtags, and we'll let your comment idly scroll on by. And you can continue to comment back and forth with your commenters here.
You would not need a separate, generally you,
and let me just, for our audience that's just kind of listening here for a second, and there are people that listen in the car to us, so let me just read this. Wendy Giz, hashtag HJB, do they need a separate warrant for the shed?
No, but and I would assume if you're going to search the entire house, I haven't seen warrants that specifically ask for, they ask for the entire residence. Do they have to ask for the shed? Would some constitutional lawyer tell you they should? I would say I doubt that. It also looks like they did not necessarily go in the shed. They seem to photograph behind it. And the last video that Paul shot there, they went back into the house, to the back of it in the lanai. But it does lead you to believe there are specifics in that warrant that they are looking for. Obviously that warrant, and I correct myself, it's a federal warrant. Getting a hold of that is not as easy as if it's a federal warrant. I'm assuming it is, because the FBI announced they have the warrant. Getting a hold of that affidavit is going to be a lot more difficult and time consuming than if it had been signed by a state judge. So we'll see how that works, but that warrant will tell us a lot.
And let's see here. I want to bring up this comment. Hey, Wendy, thanks for your comment. We'll go to Shelby next. Hey, Shelby, hashtag HJB. So is it confirmed that the parents were removed? And So
it's confirmed by eyewitnesses. One reporter, at least one reporter saw the mom go, and then I have eyewitnesses who have contacted me that tell us the mom and dad were taken away. And by the way, that is standard operating procedure.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up here, as far as not interfering with the execution of the search warrant.
It's not like they're suspects or anything like that. It's not like they were getting in the way of the FBI, but you want the house clean. You don't want anybody else in there. You don't want anything disturbed. And so, yes, you take everybody out of the house except law enforcement, and even law enforcement will limit how many officers will go in there.
Let's listen. I think Paul is coming in on radio. Let's just listen in. Okay, no, he was about to deliver. I think he's getting ready for a live report on our newscast here. Also, let's go to Ms. Christine McLarty. Listen in to her.
The Petito case. Again, we have been here about the last hour that the FBI has been swarming this house along with Northport Police. There is also a helicopter overhead. We do believe that the Laundrie parents are inside the home. Before agents came here, the dad came out to his car and got a couple of documents, went back inside before FBI came and showed up. Now, this is following a weekend-long investigation, as the Laundrie parents said that they saw Brian's car at a nearby wildlife preserve. And there was a 2-day search from sunrise to sunset. The last 2 days, dozens of law enforcement agencies about 10 minutes away from this house searching for their son. And again, we're back here live where there's multiple FBI agents inside this home speaking with Brian's parents. Stay with 8 on their side for the latest. Reporting in Northport, Christine McLarty. Back to you.
Hey everybody, JB Buno here with you live on WFLA now, and we'll see if Christine is about to deliver additional remarks here. I think she is. Let's go back to Christine. Back with your hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt comments here momentarily. Nope, now we have Eagle 8 HC's Paul Lamison.
Vehicles in the front, and also right here in the center of your screen, that is the Mustang that's in question. The one that left the house, was at the reserve, and then was brought back by the parents. That has been out there since Wednesday. Now I'm going to move the camera and show you back here in the backyard, this shed. We just saw agents out there with the door open. They walked around the outside of the shed. They went inside. They seemed to take a lot of pictures. They did some stuff there. They since walked back into the home. So there's a wide shot of the house. You can see all the media gathered. This street is closed to traffic. So right now it's just a very big crime scene that takes up quite a bit of the neighborhood. But again, the house is here. We'll be up above it and see if we can spot anything else. But again, the couple things I really want to show you are the Mustang that is out front, and there is one of the officers standing guard in front of the home. So Stacy, I will throw it back to you.
And that's Paul Lamison reporting for us on our 11 a.m. newscast. Team coverage, by the way, if you are here in the Tampa Bay area, turn on your televisions to your NBC station, WFLA 8 on your side. That's us. And you'll find us, our team coverage with 8 on your side's Christine McLarty. You'll also find Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison. And I was just passed along a note here. And again, this is welcome to reporting online in the year 2021. A big thank you to some of our commenters here for helping me monitor a lot that's going on out there. Stevie Webb, hashtag HJB, Brian Enton said parents were taken back into the house. And so I want to give a shout out here to News Nation's Brian Enton. He reports for News Nation, of course, part of Next Star Nation here with us. He is based in Miami. He's our Florida correspondent here for News Nation. And he did just tweet out at the same second. I don't know. Stevie was really quick on it, pointing out here that parents are back in the house. So the 2 Laundrie parents back in the home at this time after again, what and I were just talking about as far as likely being removed from the equation here just temporarily as the search warrant was being executed so that it could be done unadulterated. So let's give a shout out to Brian Enton one more time. You can follow him online. He's one of the reporters. He's actually got a live feed up right now too that we're also monitoring here for developments. All right, we're live here in the center of your screen. Walt Petito, phone's ringing off the hook. Walt, if you need to take that, you can take it.
Yeah, let me just.
All right, everybody back here with you live. Walt will come back here momentarily. Walt, your mic is muted if you need to take that. some more hashtag HJB comments that are coming in here, and let's get to Shelby Carollo again. It shows one more time. Shelby. So is it confirmed that the parents were removed? Yes, confirmed that the parents were removed, and then put they were allowed to go back into the house here. So at this time, it's very possible here, and I think Walt, you're done with your phone call. Phone's ringing off the hooks here, folks. A lot of messages, tweets, DMs. It's just a lot going on here at this hour. And thanks for spending part of your Monday morning here with us as we look here at some of the media circus here. But the Laundrie parents are back in the home, which, Walt, would lead you to now wonder, of course, if logically the next step is, are they done now executing the search warrant?
They could be, or they could be, they could have like cleared one area of the house and perhaps they let them back in. I would have to say it's somewhat unusual, but perhaps they were, like we said, these warrants are written in a certain way where they're looking for, they don't always say exactly what police are looking for. So were they able to clear an area and allow the Laundries back in? That's very possible. Clear one room? We don't know. Are they after something specific? Did they bring the Laundries back in to ask some questions about what they're looking for? We know none of those answers yet.
Yeah, and I know that there's some videos out there, everybody. And again, we are working here to provide you here with the images at the very latest, but I want to let you know here that this is live here in the center of your screen. Aid on your side, senior investigator Walt Buteau joining us here, everybody, on WFLA Now. I'm JB Buno. You can follow us, of course, online and on our various platforms. We're here live with you on WFLA Now as the FBI and police swarm Brian Laundrie's family's home here in Northport, Florida. Quite the scene here one day after Gabby Petito was a body matching Gabby Petito's description was found in Northwest Florida. I think now we do have, let's see if the radio is back online. Paul Lamison and Eagle 8 HD. Hey there, Paul. It's JB back with you on WFLA Now. Can you read me and do you hear me? And what do you see up there in Eagle?
Hey, JB, I can hear you. Are you ready for me?
Yes, sir. You're live on WFLA Now. What do we got here from the sky?
Hey, JB, we're over the house right now, the one that was just swarmed by FBI and Northport Police. I'm going to show you a couple things as we continue to circle this home. And again, the road is shut down to traffic. Media is out on the side of the house. There's the media. Here is the home. Now, JB, I want to show you this as we come around. Remember the Mustang they talked so much about that Brian apparently took to the park and to go hiking, and then the parents returned it back to the driveway? There it is. That's the Mustang that's been back in this driveway since Wednesday of this week. And again, the parents didn't report him missing until late Friday evening. There's the Mustang still out in front. The red pickup truck is the father's pickup truck. We've seen that come and go with the father and mother several times. But again, the other ones are law enforcement vehicles. You see the police outstanding guard in front of the home. Now, the other thing I want to show you as we make our way around the back of the home, this shed that's out in the backyard. We watched as the agents came out of the home and walked the perimeter of this shed, taking pictures, looking at it, taking some measurements. They then opened the door and went inside. We saw them take pictures inside as well. Again, we don't know what's going on in there, but we do know that's what they did. The agents then left the shed and went back through the screen porch into the home. We have seen no other activity coming and going from this home. Again, this is where Brian Laundrie was supposed to be staying until he vanished. His parents say he's missing. The Petito family says he's hiding. He's not missing. So that's what's going on now. Again, earlier today, the agents, Northport Police and federal agents, came to the house to serve a court-ordered search warrant. So that's what you're looking at now, JB. And again, here's a better shot of the Mustang. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to you. I have a live hit to do on WFLA TV. But again, JB, I'll be up here for a while, at least until we have to go refuel. And right now it's quiet. Everything going on inside the home, nothing outside of the home. But we'll have it covered if anything changes. I'll throw it back to you, JB.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Again, Paul Lamison, our chief photographer here at WFLA and the voice of Eagle 8 HD. Back here with you live, everybody, on WFLA Now. A big thank you to Paul. He's going to be live in our 11 a.m. newscast. He is live in moments here in our 11 a.m. newscast. One more time, 8 on your side, senior investigator Walt Petito joining us here. And Walt has a lot of work to do here. So I'm going to do my very best here to answer as many questions as possible. And Walt, you feel free to jump in here as needed. And so that way that we can continue to work on both our television and digital products here simultaneously. And I think we're going to try to have others as well join us and rotate our team of reporters here in and out. We're not going anywhere, folks, here on WFLA Now. We're going to stay here with you live and bring you the very latest here because we know how much this story means to you. Let's just kind of talk about that for 1 second. We know how much this story means to you. We know that there are so many folks that are heartbroken here and went to bed really down last night.
I think, and again, it's that social media impact that this was somebody who put their life out there, shared what they did with this person of interest. They were both out there. I think there's this somewhat of a mirage, I think, to a degree, that social media creates, where I think we know these folks more than we do, but we also see this telegenic a woman and her boyfriend or fiancé, and they're traveling the country and they're doing these pictures and showing us this life, and then many, even if you didn't follow it before, you followed it in retrospect after it devolved into what has happened with one of them apparently no longer with us, the other one, as the family of Gabby Petito said, the other one hiding or the other one missing, depending on how you look at it. And now the FBI, and it's such a visual story. It's easy to be drawn into it. It's like we said, I think we said this on Friday, JB, it's a 2021 story. It has all those elements. Even we're just now really getting to a point where a small police department like Moab I don't know when they got their body cams, but I bet they haven't had them very long, because we have local departments that don't have body cams. And imagine this case and this investigation without the body cams from August 12th. Imagine where we would be. We would know so much less if those body cams weren't there. We were able to see them and hear them, and at their lowest point. And it sort of gave us a view into what we thought could happen, the worst case scenario, and that's where we are right now.
Let's see if we can bring in 8 on your sides, Christine McLarty now. Team coverage here for you folks on WFLA Now. And Christine, if you can hear me, feel free to hop in front of the camera or come through here on the microphone. And you are there outside of the Laundrie household. You've been there for some time watching the scene unfold here. What can you tell us, and what have you seen so far this morning?
Hey, JB, can you hear me?
I can, Christine. Hope all is well there. I know you've been working extremely hard. What can you tell us as far as the scene that is unfolding here after the FBI and police swarmed Brian Laundrie's family's home this morning?
Yeah, absolutely, JB. So we're out here on scene. We are at the Laundrie house right now, and within the last hour or so, about 15 different police agents with the FBI and Northport Police, they came swarming this home, and now they're inside the home. So we saw them bring a lot of suitcases and a lot of documents inside this home. This situation went from 0 to 100 really quick. Now, we've been out here since about 4 o'clock this morning. And all day, there's been nothing going on here. But then about an hour ago, multiple cars came rushing down the street. They turned their lights on. The crime scene tape went up around the neighborhood. We saw the parents of Brian be escorted into the home here. And we are now waiting to learn more about what's going on. We did hear from the FBI that there is an active search warrant. So we have been asked to stay across the street, and we will keep bringing you the latest as we know more.
Christine, we've had a lot of questions come in pertaining to the parents of Brian Laundrie. What can you tell us about Brian Laundrie's parents as far as the search warrant being executed this morning? Any details you can provide will help our audience here.
The only details that I have as of now are that about 20 minutes before the cars came rushing in, Brian's dad came out to his car and grabbed some papers, grabbed some documents, and then about 20 minutes later is when the FBI showed up. We were told that they escorted him and his wife, the couple, into the van, and now that they have been escorted back into the home, we believe. Again, this is a fluid situation. We're trying to learn as much as we can as we're here. But their house is completely blocked off, along with the street is blocked off about, I'd say, 3 or 4 houses in each direction. We have the street blocked off here, so a lot of people wondering what's next.
Christine McLarty, 8 on your side, WFLA News Channel 8 here. Christine, we'll spend a few more minutes here just kind of speaking with you to gain your perspective here in the story and get the very latest here from you. Folks joining us here, we know that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of comments in the queue here as far as your hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt comments that we are going to come to those questions and comments here. Again, just breaking down the very, very latest with 8 on your sides, Christine McLarty here. And Christine, can you just speak to the amount of attention the story has received over the last 24 hours, especially after the terrible news that we received in Northwest Wyoming last night?
Yeah, I mean, I think this has gained national attention around the world. I've had people tweeting at me and Facebooking about the reports that we're doing from Britain and overseas. I mean, everybody is just can't seem to look away from this case just because there are so many questions. And now that we're starting to get answers, I think this heightened sense of where is Brian has become much more apparent within the last 24 hours here since we heard the news at 6 p.m. last night about Gabby. And I mean, everybody, when we're in gas stations around the neighborhood here, filling up and getting different things, we have people thanking us, saying thank you for continuing trying to find answers and staying on this story. A lot of people just really want to know what is going on. And of course, I think as all your viewers and you can attest, I watched your incredibly emotional WFLA Now last night. And I mean, it's just touched all of our hearts in a way that Gabby will live forever in all our hearts, and we all just want answers about what's next.
8 on your sides, Christine McLarty. Thank you, Christine. We're looking here, everybody, at 2 live pictures. On the left side of your screen is from Eagle 8 HD over the Laundrie family home right now. On the right side of your screen is the shot being provided to us by the crew of 8 on your sides, Christine McLarty. Christine, this scene now, what's next here based on what we know at this time? It appears, of course, we've been reporting from News Nation Now's Brian Enton, and of course from WFLA, that the parents are back in the house right now. The parents there were, they had left or had been, of course, what's the word I'm looking for? Excuse me, escorted, thank you, from the scene here. And now the question is, what's next? Do we have any idea how long police are going to remain here on scene and what's going to unfold here in the hours ahead?
Yeah, that's a great question, JB. So as I said before, this is an active and fluid situation. So things have been changing minute to minute. About an hour ago, there was nobody here on scene. We've been here since 3 o'clock this morning, and this has been very quiet. And then we heard that the reserve, the wildlife reserve, just about 10 minutes away, that they would not be doing a search there. So many of us came back here, and we've just kind of been waiting here. And then about an hour ago is when 15 unmarked cars showed up. About a dozen FBI agents, along with Northport Police, got out of their cars and they taped off this area. We really don't know what's next. We know that there is a warrant, that they are inside investigating, and we could be out here another 5 minutes. We could be out here another 5 hours or 5 days. We just don't know the answer to that question right now. But we will keep everybody updated as we learn that.
I want to, one more time here for everybody joining us here on WFLA Now, let you know that more your hashtag AJB, hashtag HWalt comments are coming up here. But Christine, before we let you go, I just want to bring up that one observation that you made in your live report here just moments ago for those of you just joining us. Oh, and I think we might have lost Christine. Christine, hopefully you have me here. I know cellular reception here as far as your call-in line is breaking up. Welcome to News in Real Time here, folks. Christine, do you have us? And I believe that we might have lost Christine McLarty, but I will, unless Christine, one more time.
Hey, JB, I think I just got you back.
All right, there you are, Christine. I want to just bring up that one note, that observation that you made earlier, that you said that about 20 minutes before the FBI and police came swarming into the scene here of the Laundrie family household, you said that you saw Brian Laundrie's father go out to one of the vehicles here. Maybe you can again tell us which vehicle it was. And you said retrieved some form of paperwork, some papers out of the vehicle.
Yeah, so I actually didn't see it with my own two eyes, but there's a lot of people here, and that is word over here. I should have clarified that is what everybody over here is saying that they saw. I can't tell you exactly which car it was that he grabbed the documents out of, but again, I did hear that he grabbed documents out of a car, and then that the parents were escorted into that black van that's just over on the left before being taken into the house.
Christine, any final notes from your reporter's notebook out there, or the notes application on your iPhone? Any final notes here as far as what you're going to be monitoring here in the hours ahead as you're here live outside the scene? In fact, I think we see you from Eagle 8 HD. Any final notes here before we let you go?
Yeah, I think that I just want to, say that, again, this is a very active and fluid situation. We're going to have team coverage. We have one of our colleagues, Allison, is just down the street here as we try to learn more. We've been out here since 4 a.m. and we expect to be out here until this situation is resolved. So we will continue bringing you team coverage. And of course, JB, thanks for all the great work that you're doing here with WFLA now. And we'll keep you posted.
A class act, folks, here. Christine McLarty, follow her, of course, on social media. She's fantastic. And a big thank you to all of our team that is out here giving us and giving you folks the very latest here. Thanks, Christine, for taking some time to join us. All right, back here with you live, everybody, on WFLA Now. JB Buno here with you. And I think that what we're going to do here is have some additional folks join us and provide us with their perspective. Just, again, an interesting observation that Christine is noting that it appears that something might have been, that could be absolutely nothing. It could be something, but some paperwork apparently being removed from one of the vehicles outside of the Laundrie household by Brian Laundrie's father, based on the report that Christine just gave us here. So again, could be something, or could be a big fat nothing. We just don't know what that means at this time, but of course we'll keep you posted if we learn anything new here. But the FBI, police this morning here, for those of you just joining us, coming in blaze and swarming the home here and executing a court-authorized search warrant here. The grounds for that warrant remain unclear. We're going to get an affidavit as we understand it, and we'll be able to shed some more light on what it was that got us to this point, because we've had a lot of your questions and comments coming in here. And there's one here in the queue that I would like to bring up here, because this is a question that's being asked by a lot of folks. And I wish Walt is taking some phone calls right now, getting some information from on the latest here on the story. And love Crystal here, hashtag hey Walt, why did they take so long for a warrant? And will they take all phones as well? Let me answer the second part first. We don't know the search warrant there. We don't know exactly how all-encompassing it is. We don't know how much has been taken from the home. We don't know what they were authorized to take as far as the search warrant. When we know, you'll know. I think if you've been watching here long enough with us here on WFLA Now, that the moment we have something and the moment that we can share it with you, and it goes, of course, through our policy here of making sure it's reportable information, it's yours. Yours. The year is 2021. People want information as soon as it comes out. So when we have it, you have it. That's my word here to you. So did they take all the phones? We don't know, but when we know, you know. But let's focus on the first part of this comment here from Love Crystal. Why did they take so long for a warrant? And I'll just kind of jump off of that question with another that I'll ask here for our audience. What changed here? What changed in the last 24 hours that now we have a search warrant? It's not that they had to wait for a judge because it's Monday morning and they couldn't get a court-authorized search warrant over the weekend, or at least you would hope that's never the case, that they can get a search warrant, of course, on a Saturday. What changed? Something changed as far as them being able to execute the search warrant. Was it connected to Gabby Petito's remains, or what's believed to be Gabby Petito's remains being discovered in Northwest Wyoming? Did that spur the warrant? There's a lot of questions now as to why now and why not last Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Why is it Monday, September 20th when we now have this scene and not earlier? Did something new come through that led to this court-authorized search warrant officially being executed? I think we'll know more in the hours ahead once we get the affidavit. A lot of questions and comments coming in here. We are going to take some more of your questions here and your comments, but let's see if we can one more time here, folks. More questions and comments coming in here, and I'm going to see if we can get 8 on your side and senior investigator Walt Petito to join us here. But I'm going to see if one more time we can bring in Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison there for us in the sky above the Laundrie household. Paul, I just want to check in here with you for a brief moment. I know you got a lot to worry about there in the air, but has anything changed in the last several minutes, and any new observations that you can share with our audience members here on WFLA Now? Paul is preparing for I was just told here, Paul is preparing for a live report on WFLA News Channel 8. He can't be live on broadcast and on digital at the same time, or at least we can tap into his signal while he's live on television, but he's preparing in his ear right now for a live report on television. So we'll come back to him here, folks, momentarily when we can. Well, listen in. I'll leave Paul's chopper audio. So if you hear any mumbling here, not that Paul mumbles, Paul's a great at what he does, but if you hear any radio traffic, it's because we have Paul's audio fully up here in the background. Okay. Walt Petito sitting back down here with us. Walt, anything new since you last, as you plug back in here?
No, in fact, I was going to ask you the same thing. I was on the phone with a source right there, but what's going on?
A lot of questions and comments that are coming in here, and this is now a good opportunity here for us. We'll listen in here for Paul's report. Paul is coming up here, everybody. You can see him down there in an eagle, or his wonderful headshot down there in the bottom right-hand portion of your screen, but we'll get the latest here from Paul in a moment. But let's get to some more of the hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyWalt comments right now, folks. File them in. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, file them in here, and we'll animate them on screen only if they have those hashtags so that we can let your comments scroll on by if you don't want your comment to be featured here on WFLA Now. Okay, Laura Manley, hashtag HeyJB. Are the Laundrie parents being charged as accessories? And no, Brian Laundrie there is at this time, based on the information that is provided to us and the information that is provided to you at home, there is no evidence right now that Brian Laundrie has committed a crime based, again, on public knowledge. Now,
this is not a crime scene.
It
might be, and they haven't told us, but this is not a crime scene. This is not a crime. This is a missing person case. Unless that changes, we have not, and maybe it's changed in the last few seconds, but we are still dealing with a missing person case. And we do have a body, but we don't know the cause of death. We don't know. Who knows what the cause of death? It could be anything. And everybody is suspicious because we saw them fight, and we have a police report that indicates that on the 12th of August that he grabbed her face and he was seen as the aggressor. And then we have the body camera footage that where she claims or tells police she was the aggressor. It was her fault. She had an OCD moment, and she got mad at him, and then they separated for a day. That was on the third. That would be on the 13th. They're back together. The last time that anybody says they heard from her was the 25th of August, and I believe Brian was back in Florida by the 1st of September. So there's that 6-day window that we are wondering what happened in that 6-day window.
And again, Brian Laundrie is a missing person in a missing persons case. And we had a comment last night, Walt, on WFLA Now. Someone that her name was Leah. I remember her name. It's hard for me to remember all the comments and all the names, but her name was Leah, and she made a point, and we've seen it a lot. People saying no body, no charge, or no body, no arrest. And now we have a body.
That's not necessarily, that's not, by the way, that's not necessarily always true.
That's not necessarily always true, but I bring it up because a lot of people assume that that's always the case. Right. And I'm bringing that up because just to say it isn't always the case, but this now new developments are going to occur here with this investigation. Now that we know that Gabby Petito's remains were, and again, a body matching her description was found in Northwest Wyoming. Now that we know that, this the investigation takes on new meaning. It takes it to a different level here. And now that we know that Gabby is again believed to be no longer with us. So
the federal search warrant takes it to a new level.
It does. It does.
Right?
It absolutely
I mean, this
does.
is and you know, these, I think Saturday.
One second. Well, let's just listen in for Paul if there's any new information.
Yep.
No, he's just coming through on radio. Okay.
The Saturday when they went to Carlton Reserve took it to another moment, because now this search had it felt at that point like a search for a suspect. It was search for a missing person, but it felt like a search for a suspect.
And let me make this clear here too. This isn't a homicide investigation right now.
No.
There's no evidence yet that we're aware of that leads this to be a homicide investigation in Northwest Wyoming. It is a person that was found deceased, and an autopsy is going to reveal the cause of death, and then we'll know whether or not that leads us to a homicide investigation. But right now, all we have is a body matching Gabby Petito's description being found in Northwest Wyoming, and separately here in Florida. Well, separately, but of course they are related in that we have a missing persons case here in Florida, in the Tampa Bay area, in Sarasota County, pertaining to Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito's fiance and boyfriend. Let's get to some more. Hashtag HJB, hashtag HeyWalt comments and questions that are coming. Walt, before I start to rattle off a lot of these, just let us know how long do you have with us? Because I know you got to work the phones. I know you got a lot to work on here. How long do you have with us?
I got a little more time.
Okay. Let's get
until my photographer spots me over here. Then he's going to come and drag me away. But
shout out to Gordon. He's a man. Haley Burrell, hashtag HJB. If Brian isn't at the home, are there other people out searching for him? Has he even been interviewed yet or taken into custody in any way? Let's just answer the second part of this question first. No. I mean, he's invoked his constitutional right to remain silent, and he went missing.
Yeah, so, as far as are they searching for him, one of Allison Henning, who's been doing a great job on this from the scene from Northport, she said that there's no longer an active scene looking for him. Does that mean they've exhausted that area? Did they get a tip he's not there anymore? So are they looking for him actively? They might be, but it's not in a grid search as they were doing over the weekend. Where are they looking? We don't know. We'd like to know. In fact, if you see any indication of that or have any information of that, get a hold of us here.
Haley, thanks for the comment. And any additional search efforts. Let me just make this clear. While the active ground search in Myakkahatchee isn't currently underway, that doesn't mean that they, okay, we're done searching. No. That's not how it works. The search is ongoing for Brian Laundrie. It's just been reconcentrated and repurposed in a different way. The strategy has changed as far as finding him, because you have to commit resources to find somebody. They don't just magically pop up on a map, unless, of course, you can track them via phone. But you understand what I'm saying.
Strategy is important, by the way.
It is extremely important.
So they have a presence out there, and maybe they wanted us to know about that presence. Maybe they didn't. And now maybe they thought, let's back up. Let's draw back a little bit and maybe pinpoint it, or maybe we don't know. And this is why journalists have to be patient, because at the end of the day, we want it to be a successful investigation one way or the other. So when the officers don't want to tell us certain things, we really should understand that it is about them trying to do their job. And the media has to remember that, and the public has to remember that. Are they looking for him? They're not telling us how they're looking for him, but maybe that is strategy. We don't know whether he could very well have access to what everybody else has access to, and police probably do not want him to know certain things about where they're looking, I imagine.
Thanks a lot, Haley, for your comment. We'll move on to more here. Again, use hashtag HeyWaltz. You see it here on the yellow stripes on the left and right side of your screens. Hashtag HeyJB, and we can feature your comments here on WFLA Now as we continue to stay here with you live from Eagle 8 HD here in the center of your screen. This is a current live picture here from our sky here above Tampa Bay, Florida, of Brian Laundrie's family home, as Brian Laundrie at this time remains missing in the Gabby Petito case. More questions. Let's get to Erica Tecoletti, the cute one there in the profile picture. Hashtag HJB. If Brian left the country, couldn't they track his passport? There have been so many questions. I have to address this. There's so many questions, Walt, in our comment section asking if Brian left the country or if Brian has fled internationally. And that would be a major shock if that was the case. And, Yeah, we have to go back to the Thursday press conference and Chief Todd Garrison and standing there at the podium. We know where Brian is. We know where Brian is. So let's break down Todd Garrison's remarks there for a moment in pertaining to this comment here. On Thursday, Northport Police say, we know where Brian is. We know where Brian is. There's two scenarios there that that Northport Police were right or they were wrong that they knew where he was. Let's break down each one individually. If they were right, then Brian Laundrie was at least in some respects being monitored by Northport Police for Chief Todd Garrison to say in front of the world, we know where he is. And then Brian was able to escape that monitoring in some way, shape, or form, and is now the subject of a missing persons case. That's in scenario A, if they were right in knowing where he was. B, they didn't know where he was, or they had incorrect information pertaining to where he was. That's the scenario where Brian could be anywhere. If they said, we know where Brian is, and that information was incorrect, they didn't in fact know where Brian was, then that puts anything and everything here, as we understand it, into the realm of possible as to where Brian could be. So that Thursday press conference is key, because Chief Garrison saying, we know where Brian is, we know where Brian is, leads us to believe, okay, if you knew where he was, then where was he? Because they didn't say where he was. They didn't say what his exact location was, but they said, we know where he is. So again, back to those two scenarios, Walt, people asking if he could have left the country. I think at this stage, we can say that would be a massive, massive turn of events, but
it's certainly possible.
Anything is in the realm of possible, the story with so many unknown variables. But at the same time, back to the passport question, Brian, if he has a passport, he still has it. Only a judge and a court order can take a passport from an American citizen. So
we know that didn't happen. We also don't know that he had a passport. One thing about Chief Garrison's comment on Thursday that is puzzling and maybe I think even troubling for some is he was asked twice, do you know where he is? And he said very, very short and succinct. He said, yes. That's what he said. Now, then we find out on Friday the parents hadn't seen him since Tuesday. Did the chief know something or thought he knew? Did the chief think he knew something that the parents didn't know? Because now we don't think he's been seen actually since Tuesday. So a lot changed. And that's troubling, I think, to folks. And we've had some comments from law enforcement officers who suggested at least that he should have been under surveillance. We don't know that he was or wasn't, but we do know they lost track of Mr. Laundrie. And we're still wondering where he is 4 days later after the chief said he knew where he was.
And I just again, I'm not making this up. I want to show folks an example of some of the comments that are out there, like from Eric here, #HJB. He could have left out of Miami as a stowaway on a boat or a small plane with someone assisting him. Just my thoughts. And this is the type of comments and questions that are out there pertaining to where Brian could be. Florida is in a unique place in the country as far as trying to get or let's say just travel internationally. So these are just some of the comments that we're receiving out there. Let's get to Ruben Valencia Jr. on Twitter, a Twitter comment here, #HJB, #HeyWalt. Did he flee or is he considered a missing person?
He is still a missing person. We have a body. We do not have positive identification of the body.
Same question here from Brittany. Yep. Is he a
we
suspect?
We don't have positive identification of the body, although it seems as though something tells police and Gabby Petito's father that is indeed Gabby Petito's body. We have a body. We do not have a cause of death. We don't have a cause of death. We don't even have any officers telling us what they suspect is the cause of death, like something they could have seen at the crime scene. We may have that today. We may not, but we still have he is still a person of interest and a missing person. And that's what we have now. That could very well change at any time.
Good question here from Courtney Chambly, #HJB. Technically, does law enforcement have to give an affidavit to the public? What they do reveal, is that cleared by the parents first? How does that work?
An affidavit has to become public. There are various deadlines depending on the state. They can keep it private for a certain period of time, but the public, that is a public document. In my experience, it's harder to get a federal affidavit than it is a local affidavit. But yes, what do they reveal? The law enforcement goes to a judge and says, "Hey, Your Honor," they write it out. This is what we know. We know this, and this of this case. It tells a story of the case, and it usually tells us more than we know. The affidavit is always, in every crime I've ever covered, and we're not a crime here, a missing person case, whatever it is, it's always very, very revealing, often offers details that we would not have seen otherwise. We don't have that affidavit yet. No, it does not have to be. It does not have to be cleared by the parents. If this is an investigation, the FBI has the right to go to a judge with what they know, and they have to. They're honest, hopefully, and they submit what they know, and then the judge says, "Okay, I'll let you search the house." That's how it works. And so we're waiting for that affidavit. We don't have it yet. We'll see if we get that anytime soon. But again, if it's a federal affidavit, it might take a little longer.
Courtney, thanks a lot for your question here. Let's reintroduce ourselves to our audience here. 8 on your side, senior investigator Walt Petito. Phone's ringing off the hooks here. And we also have, of course, Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison, who's in the sky here for us. We'll try to get to Paul. Do you need to take that, Walt?
No.
Okay, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, so Paul Lamison there for us in Eagle 8 HD. 8 on your side, senior investigator on WFLA Now. It's JB Buno here, folks. We're answering your questions. And this is a live picture here from Paul from Eagle 8 HD here in the center of your screen. Any and all feeds that we have access to, we're going to provide you with. But this is the scene right now at the Laundrie home. Interesting of note here that let's talk about what's going on right now at the house, Walt. Let's talk about this. Because if the parents are back in the house, but the vehicles for law enforcement are still there, is there a conversation going on now in the house? So if protocol here is escort the parents from the home, execute the search warrant, retrieve items that you need to retrieve, photograph the property, photograph the interior, and then escort the parents back into the house, then why are law enforcement still at the scene? Why do we have the vehicles still here? Is there a conversation? Has the Laundrie family decided maybe now is the time to begin speaking, now that this has escalated to the point where a search warrant is being executed here? Because at this stage of where we are now, it's about, it's been about 20 to 30 or so minutes since the Laundrie parents were allowed back inside of the house. I would have assumed that by now that perhaps we would have had some vehicles starting to leave the scene here and the driveway starting to become a little bit less hectic as it is right now. But all those law enforcement vehicles there on the front lawn and right up there on the front door, they're still there. So it leads you to wonder, and I have to ask this question, is the Laundrie family speaking? We don't know. And until we have information from police, we don't know. But it's just an observation here because it seems from what we're witnessing here from Eagle 8 HD, the execution of the search warrant at this time appears to be over. No more photographers taking pictures outside of the house. No more people going in and out with containers to, collect evidence and bring evidence back into their vehicles.
They could very well have been working from the outside in. So I don't know that we know it's over. We don't know that it's over. We just know the parents are back inside. There's no doubt, by the way, that they took a picture of that shed from the back of the shed. So you wonder about that. Could be nothing, but I don't know.
There's also a scenario here where perhaps the Laundrie family requested to be in the comfort of their own home while the search warrant was being executed, because they didn't want to be outside in a media circus, or they didn't want to be in a car, or that they gave their word that they would not interfere with the execution of the search warrant if they could stay in an area of the home where they could just be safe within the confines of their own home.
And what you said is possible too, although the family hired a lawyer it seems like 2 weeks ago, right? Or a week ago, long before. And that was the great criticism. Why isn't he talking? Why isn't Brian talking? Well, he has a lawyer. So if the lawyer told Brian not to talk, I'm wondering if the lawyer would have told the parents not to talk either. I mean, that's all part of it. And again, the frustrating part, and we have to be patient here, is we don't know what the people in that house know, or at least think they know about this case.
Let's get some more of your hashtag AJB comments here, but let's see one more time. I think we can finally bring in Eagle 8
the other side, because I have a couple things I want to show.
Okay, so Eagle 8 HC's Paul Lamison. Let's see if we can just kind of check in with Paul here, everybody, and see if we can bring up Paul. Paul Lamison over the radio. This is JB at WFLA. Can you copy? Can you hear me? And what do you have here in the last several minutes from the sky?
Hey, JB. Yeah, I can hear you. And hey, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a look live for WFLA, but you guys stay here because this is all the information you're going to need. And I'm going to give you a real quick show and tell of what's going on here at the home. And we're over the Laundrie home right now. So hang on. Here we go, JB. Hey, Linda, this is going on 3, 2, 1. We are over the Laundrie home in Northport. And I want to show you a couple things. Here's the home. The search warrant was started and they came inside the house. The only time we've seen them come out is out in this back area. If you see this shed, they came out and walked around the shed, took several pictures. Then they went inside the shed and also took pictures. They then went back into the screened in pool area back into the home. We saw one other agent come out for a short period of time and then they went back in. Now out in the front yard, what I want to show you is right behind this tree, that gray car, that is in fact the Mustang that Brian apparently drove to the park to go hiking. And then on Wednesday, his parents brought it back and parked it in the driveway. It's been there ever since, but there is the Mustang. The other thing I want to show you is this red vehicle. That's the parents' vehicle. We've seen that come and go several times with both of them inside. That's a member of the Northport Police Department. They are out here standing watch over this house. And again, as the warrant goes on inside. So far, the activity has been pretty much inside the house. I do want to tell you that just about a mile, 2 miles from here is where the park is. So this house is close to where they were searching all weekend. Right now, the whole street is blocked off as they execute a warrant inside this home in Northport. We'll be here and give you any information as it becomes available. In Eagle 8 HD, Paul Lamison, 8 on your side. Okay, JB, there. I just did that for the web, but again, JB, this house, it's in a neighborhood it's a fairly busy neighborhood, and there's really no way, like people thought maybe he went out the back. You really can't get out the back unless you're going to hop the fence and cut through yards or through some other wooded area. So really the way in and out of this house is from the front or through the side gates. And again, media has... Yeah, we were done with the look live, Linda. I'm just still talking to JB, but you heard I synced out. But JB, this whole area is a pretty busy area, so that's the weird thing, that he could have just got out without people seeing him leave. But again, the search warrant's happening in the house, JB, and we're going to get going now. We have to go back to Venice and refuel, but I'll give you one last look at the house as we start heading to Venice. And again, this is the home where the search warrant's going on. The road closed in front as the media and everyone else continues to wait to see what the next step of this case is. Back to you, JB.
Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate it. And again, live here from Eagle 8 HD, showing you the scene here, everybody. And give Paul a follow on social media. One of the best news photographers in the country as far as being able to do it from the ground and from the air, as Eagle 8 HD now returns home. JB Buno, Walt Puto here with you live, everybody on WFLA now. We'll start to play back again some of that video from earlier, some of the earlier video now from the scene here at the Laundrie family household, just kind of queuing things up here. And there we have it. Anything new, Walt?
I have nothing new. Just again, same questions, I think, as we wait. And Paul brings up a good point, showing us, I think, some great information. They're showing us where the various cars that are in there and where the parents are and where they've been, and the fact that they're back inside. That's part of, we're just waiting for this. And keep in mind, it's the FBI. They're not going to tell us a whole lot, I don't think, once they get out of there. And I think the things we're waiting for today are possible forensic results from the Denver FBI and from Wyoming, from the scene out there. We're waiting for obviously whether or not we can find Mr. Laundrie, and then we're also waiting to find out what exactly the FBI is looking for inside that house. Will we get those answers today? We don't know, but we will. We obviously will bring them to you as soon as we get them, and hope and sort of try to fill in some of the blanks here of this this mystery that's sort of captivated the entire country.
All right, if you've been here with us now for the last hour and a half, you've been really patient as far as your hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt comments now. Walt, if we can here, Gord, you good? I'm good, Walt. All right, you got it. Just checking in. Don't want to make Gordon Dempsey an unhappy man. Got to make sure that that is, of course, 8 on your side, senior investigator Walt Petito's photographer here, and they have a lot of work to get to here as far as collecting the latest here for us. So, let's see if we can. How long do you have here for us, Walt? For
10 more minutes.
All right, we got 10 minutes here. We're gonna do rapid fire here. We're gonna just go through rapid fire as many hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt comments and questions that we can take here, and then we'll wrap up here in WFLA Now, or perhaps bring in another member of our team to continue answering questions if you'd like for us to do so. If you'd like for us to do extended coverage here for us, folks, if you'd like to request extended coverage here, let us know here in the comment section, and we'll stay here with you live. We don't. We're going to be covering this story all day and until its conclusion. So we're here with you. Let's get to some of the comments that have come in here in the last several minutes that are in our queue here. Okay, Amanda Perna, I see this one, hashtag HJB. I want to commend you and your entire team for covering this so well. Thank you, guys. Thank you. There's been a lot of,
Thanks,
I'm not going to throw them all up here, but there have been a lot of very, very kind and sincere comments about our coverage here, and we really appreciate that. We really do. Elizabeth Brady, hypothetically speaking, I like that she begins this with hypothetically speaking. I
was thinking the exact same thing. There's a lot of hypothetically speaking here because we're waiting for some things that are more than hypothetical, but go.
I don't hit the applause button often there as far as our sound effects, but thank you for the hypothetically speaking, because we say that all the time. Elizabeth Brady, hashtag HJB, hypothetically speaking, if the parents have had quite some time to clean the house, what are the chances of the FBI finding anything?
Well, I'll tell you what. They can find whether or not you cleaned the house, by the way. And now I think if this turns into a crime, now you're obstructing justice. Would you do that for your son? Maybe. But yeah, it's a great question. But along those lines, the FBI seems to think they can go in there and find something. Now, this is video from earlier, right, JB, on the right?
It is.
So
yep.
They are, I don't know what.
This is not live. Let's make that clear. Not live.
But yeah, it's a great question. I just think that what are you cleaning the house of? What are you getting rid of? That's what we don't know. It's not like we don't believe anything happened in that house that would give them I mean, they could still get DNA evidence, for example, in that house, right? They could be in there looking for DNA evidence that then could possibly, they don't have Brian's DNA. Why would they? So they could be looking for DNA evidence. They could be in the bathrooms and looking for that in his bedroom, whatever it is. They're getting that, and that can take some time.
Cynthia Gonzalez, hashtag KJB. My guess is maybe they are getting fingerprints or something to maybe get something with Brian's DNA to possibly match whatever comes back from Gabby's autopsy. Just a thought. You would imagine that forensics are part of this,
absolutely,
where we are in this investigation. Absolutely.
100%.
Cynthia, thanks a lot for your comment here, going back to where we are. So we don't, I take these kind of in turn here. Lauren Maynard, hashtag HJB, hashtag Well, we threw this one up earlier. I'm going to throw this one up here one more time from the UK here, and been following the case. Heartbreaking, praying for justice for Gabby and her family. Speaks to, again, how this is an international news story. People are following this story, not across the country, around the world. Lauren, thanks for watching from the UK. Corey Steelman, hashtag HJB. Do you think that the Laundries told police a wrong location to make sure he could get away? I bring this comment. I'm not going to answer this comment because we don't know. There's just so much that we don't know. But I bring up this because the no service in Yosemite text, the final text that was sent from Gabby's phone to Gabby's mother, there's been so much theorizing going on online pertaining to that comment and whether or not that was intentionally given for a purpose to, throw off the scent, so to speak, of Brian Laundrie and of Gabby Petito. So we don't know the answer to this question, Corey, but I know that there are a lot of people that are asking whether or not that the location was given incorrectly intentionally, and whether or not, as we go through some more of the camera feed video here, everybody, this is what you see on the news or what you see on our news cameras here. But also, do the parents have any role in Brian's disappearance is a question that is being asked repeatedly on social media.
Unfair question at this point. I would have to say, I get it. We want answers, but those are questions that we would ask at a news conference. But at this point, again, missing person case, and everybody suspects everybody right now.
Everybody thinks that everyone's the bad guy,
right.
And you would, let's just keep that in the context of like we there's just so much we don't know, and until we have more information, but there have been some people at the same time commenting that a parent that loves their child, and parents who really, of course, parents love their children and would do anything to protect their child, and that is a sentiment that has been thrown my way both on stream and off stream. Yeah. As far as the actions of Brian Laundrie's parents here. Shannon Owens, we talked about this earlier, but Walt, real quick, #HJB, are they still looking for Brian?
Absolutely.
Of course they are. They're looking for Brian. Just the active search of Myakkahatchee at the reserve there in rural Sarasota County has been called off to re-strategize and reallocate their resources elsewhere. Christina Tolbert, #HJB, are the police/FBI going to do a press conference today? First and foremost, we don't know if there's going to be a press conference today. Of course, if there is one, we're live here with you on WFLA.
My guess is there will be one.
You say yes.
Will it be the FBI? I think the FBI just tends to not do update sort of press conferences.
I don't think it's going to be FBI Tampa.
If the FBI has a news conference, it's going to be to announce that we have a probable cause of death, we have a positive identity on the body, or we have a suspect, or we need your help. That's what. But Northport Police might be pushed by all that media to make some sort of statement today. I would be surprised if they don't.
And it likely would be organized by, or at least shared out by, Northport Police. They're still the lead investigative agency in this case here. Kenesha Hoffman, #HJB, #HeyWalt, if, in capital letters, if he is found guilty, will his parents be charged with anything as well? It's just too early to say. He's still a missing person. There's no homicide investigation currently underway. It's a missing persons case, so we don't even know where Brian is. We don't even know if Brian's going to be charged with the crime. We want to rush this to the conclusion that we can finally say that there's justice for Gabby, and everybody wants that immediate satisfaction, but we're just not there yet.
No, and sometimes a charge in a case like this could be used to convince someone to offer more information. And so parents being charged in a case like this for what? Obstructing justice. Sometimes you might do that in order to get them to talk if they're not cooperating. But it appears they have at least started to cooperate as of Friday, right? Because that's when we saw police going in there Friday, and then they came back today.
Brittany Costello, #HJB. So is he a suspect yet, or still a person of interest? Person of interest. Eric's comment we threw up here. Mark Friedrich, #HJB. I'm curious, are officials in Wyoming communicating with the Florida officials in regarding to this case?
We're told yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a multi-agency effort, and
Wyoming, by the way, and Utah.
Yep. So Wyoming's involved, Utah's involved, Florida's involved, Suffolk County Police in New York are involved. Right. So this is a multi-agency effort here, folks. Thank you, Mark, for your comment here. Savvy Martin, #HJB, #HeyWalt. Where is Gabby's van currently? In lockup with her parents. It's with police.
Police. Last time we saw it was with Northport Police. You have to wonder if this becomes a crime. That becomes a key element, right? Because I'm going to assume they've had it for almost a week, that they have done a lot of analysis on that van at this point, we would think.
3 more here before we have to clear Walt, and then we're going to figure out exactly what our next steps are here on WFLA Now. We've been live now for we're approaching the 2-hour mark here, and we'll of course continue to take some questions here, but we are going to have to take a break here momentarily just to re-strategize here ourselves as far as our coverage plan here. So but 3 more here. Let's get to 3 more. Kelly McNally, #KJB. Did we see how many containers of evidence were taken out of the home? Several. We can say multiple, right?
Well, I don't
Well,
know.
I
if
mean,
those,
we saw them
those,
going
those
in.
Those appeared to be going in or to another vehicle. We do know, I believe on Friday, we had video of an envelope of some sort being taken into the home. And that was Friday. I don't remember seeing it coming out. I assume it did, but we have not seen anything really come out of that house. We're not there live, but we've been watching it live. I don't believe we've seen anything come out of that house as far as that would appear to be evidence.
Let's get some more here in the Facebook Live comment section. YouTube's really hard because they fly in so quickly. Hey, Kelly, thanks a lot for yours. Odd question here from Kristen Owen. Hashtag HJB. I'm curious, do the neighbors give media permission to use their lawn / driveway?
Yes. In fact, one of our reporters, I think it was Christine, had pointed out that some of the neighbors did not want, and I can understand that, by the way, as a member of the media. Some neighbors did not want it. Others were more friendly to allow us to at least camp out in their areas on their lawn. So yes, and we do ask for permission. Good question.
Now, the one that was a little crazy was Friday night when everyone was on the Laundrie family front lawn. And how that one worked was, as we understand it, everyone was jockeying for position. And the news crews were on the street and shooting video of the house. And then members of the public went on to the property. And then members of the media were blocked. And then it became, okay, you're blocking me, I'm blocking you. And everyone just kept trying to, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And before you know it, half the world is on the Laundrie household front lawn here. I've seen some crazy things as far as swarms of media and public gathering outside of a particular location, but being 6 feet away from the front door of the house is that was new for me. That was pretty.
You're talking about Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday night.
Yeah, that was I said it to my wife. Very odd to be right there. Almost seemed wrong, to be honest. But jockeying for position can sometimes do that with the media. It's not our best moment. That happens.
Jen Dick, hashtag HJB, hashtag AWAL. Thank you for the coverage. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and you guys are my go-to for information. I can always count on you to be live.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate that. Audience member again, internationally joining us here on WFLA now. All right, last one here for at least until we clear Walt. Hashtag HJB, Jonah, Skidmore, Ralston, hashtag HJB. Speaking of the family attorney, where is said attorney now?
Stephen Bertolino. We don't know where he is. He's from New York. So, but that's someone I could imagine making a statement today as well. I'm not sure how much information we'll get out of it or whether he'll take questions, but I can see a statement coming from that attorney. After all, one of his clients is missing and the other two are in that house right now with FBI presumably combing it for some sort of evidence, something that might help this case.
We're gonna take a break now here, folks. Okay, so let me explain how this is going to work here, folks. How we're gonna kind of figure out exactly where we go now that we have lost both live feeds from our from outside of the house here. Walt, feel free to get going here. I know Gordon's looking for you. Appreciate it.
Fascinating case. May never see one like it again. I've said that before, and things happen, but this is a fascinating case that, like you said, has captivated the world. Really.
Thank you, Walt.
You're doing a great job too. Hang in there with your voice. You sound good. You sound better. Sounds like you're getting better. The tea's helping.
Tea's helping. Thanks, Walt. I appreciate it, and we'll see you tonight on WFLA. Let's explain how this is going to work now going forward. We've received a lot of comments about all the whether or not there have been Brian Laundrie sightings out there. I've seen speculative comments in our social media comment section. Didn't animate them on screen because we don't have any grounds to, of course, show you something that is so baseless. It's just a comment. Somebody saying, "Oh, was he seen here? Was he seen there?" But let's make this clear here, everybody. This is a missing persons case, and what we do here on the news when there's a missing persons case is when we're talking about a massive news story like this one, and we're talking about a missing person and trying to help out law enforcement, the media serves as an additional vessel, an additional means, an additional method to help out law enforcement to get out the word of a missing persons case. Brian Laundrie is missing. Now, in the court of law, he is missing. in the court of public opinion, and as somebody who has read probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of comments here over the last week pertaining to the story, I can tell you and pass along to you that in the court of public opinion, Brian Laundrie isn't a missing person. Brian Laundrie is wanted because he is wanted for his version of the story and what happened on the road with Gabby Petito. So we're, of course, going to, we are very cognizant of that, very aware of that. But what we're going to do now is focus on the fact that Brian Laundrie is missing and that people want to hear from him. And what we're going to do now is we're going to activate here. We're going to activate our Share to Help banner. And we're going to ask our audience here online, wherever you're watching from, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, WFLA.com, we're asking you to share this. And what we're going to do is we're going to put up images of Brian Laundrie here. And what we'll do is we'll try to freeze frame it here in a bit. And the best image here that we have of Brian Laundrie here, what we're
New developments this morning in the search for Northport's Gabby Petito.
The FBI announced the discovery of remains matching her description, and they're waiting for an autopsy to make a positive identification and determine a cause of death. Now, those remains were found in Wyoming near Grand Teton National Park, the last known location of Gabby.
As the FBI works that part of the investigation, about 30 minutes ago, we learned the search efforts for her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, have been suspended at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park and Carlton Memorial Reserve in Sarasota County. Police tell us they believe they have exhausted all avenues in searching the grounds at the park. Crews have been searching the 25,000-acre land since Saturday morning. Laundrie was named a person of interest in Gabby's disappearance. His family reported him missing on Friday after he was last seen on Tuesday, saying he may have been at the park. Police stress while the search at the park is over, they are still following tips in the search for Brian Laundrie.
All right, guys. You know, it's funny when the video plays, it mutes it on the StreamYard side. I have to figure that out. But I'm going to keep this in the background. But I want to show you guys. I want to check her Twitter page and see if there's anything new with her 2 minutes ago. Newport police gave him and his parents time to cover up, clean her van, and any other evidence. If they don't find any evidence against him, he walks. Yeah, I don't know about that. See, that's when I'm a scatterbrain. I agree with you, Kenny, is when I forget to unmute my mic. Let's go see what Brian's doing, because we know he's still hanging out at the neighbor's house. And what we just read, he just says that police say they are still searching for Brian. They just currently believe they have exhausted all avenues in searching the reserve. And then this was 3 hours ago. I'm looking for Brian. I should have called my ex-husband and said, hey, can you do me a favor and go out to the Carlton and take some footage for me? I bet his new wife would have loved that. Sure. So I do not know what time he is going to be back. Obviously, there's still no search warrant out on Brian Laundrie. Little creeper. You know what bothers me the most about this is that there's so many ifs. What if this? What if the time here when they got pulled over, or when she called her mom? And there's just so many what ifs. You know, it's just sad. I have to pray that it wasn't like he planned it, that it was, God forbid, even an accident, even though he's still a creeper and he needs to come forward. All right, guys. I am going to get on with my day. Let's go see if Brian's got, this is 1 hour ago. Let's see, maybe Brian's got the parents on video. Let's just check this out real quick.
Can you guys see now? Sorry for the bad connection. There's so much media out here now. You see like all of these reporters, so everybody's on using Wi-Fi to go live, so it's not good. So here's the latest. Basically, the FBI is inside the house right now. Went in about an hour ago with a search warrant. Brought the parents out briefly into this black van that you see right here. Put them in the van. And then now they're back inside the house. So the parents are inside the house right now. They were in the van briefly, and now they're back in the house. Again, sorry for the bad quality. Hopefully you can hear me. There's not really much to see right now. I mean, obviously they've got everything all, taped off, but the FBI is in the house right now. Yeah, that's a news helicopter.
I want to see the parents come out of the house. After this, I'm just going to back it up and see if he's got a video before this.
There's like 15 FBI agents, it looked like, that went in. Some of them were in SWAT gear. Some went down the side of the house here. Yeah, WFLA helicopter. That's a News Nation station. So just tell me and I'll get out of your way. Sorry. So the good thing is we have a really good vantage point here with the neighbor. Again, neighbor, super cool. You see where all the other media is. And we're right here, so we can see if they come out.
Okay, well, did they come out earlier? And did Brian, how long has Brian been there? He probably pitched a tent, right?
I cannot see the shed from where I am. People asking if I can see the shed. You see all the media over here.
And how long are his parents going to deal with everyone outside of their house?
The Mustang is still here. Yep. Mustang's still here. Oh, nice. WFLA gave me a shout out.
You gotta love this guy. Brian Enton. Yeah, I'm gonna look further back. This is what we saw before, but the different angle from the front.
Yeah, people saying to thank the neighbor. I actually just told him, I was like, thank you so much. I told him that my followers were really appreciative.
Brian, stop interrupting me. It's not nice. No, Baba. They took him into the
I don't know if there was anything in the shed. I cannot see the shed from my vantage point, and we cannot move around now. So let me just show you guys, like last night before all this happened, you know, none of this tape was here. They've literally like taped us in. So I can't really move too much.
Oh, this guy, he's taped in. He's rude, interrupting me. They took the parents out, Baba, into that black van.
But again, just sort of the latest for people who haven't been following. This morning, FBI showed up, about 15 agents or so for a search warrant.
Here you go, Baba. He's going to tell you right now because he's being rude and he keeps interrupting me. I guess not, Baba. He's not going to tell you now. The parents were brought out. Something with the black van. They went somewhere, but now the parents are back in the house. This broadcast has ended 1 hour ago. The parents have not come out. 1 hour ago, FBI says they are executing a search warrant at the Laundrie's residence relevant to the Gabby Petito investigation. 15 agents with a lot of equipment will have video go live soon. Let's go back into here and see what's going on. Do you guys remember what time JD said he was going to be back? Tatanka Peach, I think the parents want the world to believe he committed suicide. However, we know he's chilling on a beach somewhere. Oh, Tatanka. Maybe he's going to go hang out with Melissa Caddick. Jay, hello. Odia was following Gabby's blog, so gutted at what has transpired. R.I.P. sweet girl, right? Amen. I hope the vile piece of trash gets found quickly. Yeah, I hope he does too. Whether he's alive or if they find him deceased. The most important part was Gabby being found. I also was kind of thinking that maybe he was going to go hide out. Look at that picture right there. He is a creeper. What did I just do? 1 second, God. He's a creeper. I hope they find him. I hope the parents will tell the truth of exactly him going to the park, or if he wasn't going to the park and where he was going, so that they can get a better idea of where he is. But if the parents helped him, I'm sure they're going to be making some threats to them that they better start speaking up or they're going to go to jail. Major Mama like CW to me. Yeah, he's just disconnected like Chris Watts was. Well, is. That picture right here, this one is just, it just makes my skin crawl. It's creepy. And the sad part is, like, if she really thought she was in danger, she could have left when she was in Salt Lake City alone. She could have told her mom in the back of that police car that she was scared. Like, there were so many what ifs. And I still have to wonder about Crystal and Kylan. Those dates and times and them being there, and when he went to Florida. Something is just so weird about the whole situation. Shredder, I'm hoping I'm not annoying you, but please show us the picture. I will. Let me do that right now. And then I'm going to get on with my day. I don't want to miss anything, though. I'm going to walk around with an AirPod in with the Facebook page open. Yeah, he seemed lurking in the videos. Like he was there, but he wasn't there. You know, it's kind of like, he's a creeper. He is a creeper. I think he was actually, I think he was definitely jealous. I don't think he wanted her sharing her life on a blog. He was probably okay with it, though, in the beginning. I don't know. I thought he was okay with it. Oh, wait a second. Let me save this. Oh, wait. I got another picture from somebody. Hang on, guys. Oh, they were saying it's not a fake picture. More pictures of plants on the dash. Let's see what this is. Yeah, see, there was something that was said about, does he have a brother? Because not only did I say it earlier, but somebody is saying that he has a brother. To be untrustworthy, and I heard his brother is a cop. I wonder which department he is on. That's what I'm going to do when I get off this live. Let me open up Shredder's picture. And then I'm going to figure out where his mother worked, and I'm going to see who his brother is. All right, let me share screen. $4 hours ago, I'm not sure when Shredder said, but this was A woman in St. Augustine, Florida took this photo today and swears it's Brian Laundrie. It has been turned into the FBI. Honestly, I think it looks like him. It's what I think. Let me go ahead and save this on my desktop, and we're going to have to get a little bit closer. I think it looks like him. I mean, maybe the beard is longer, right? Wasn't that the hat? Guys, wait a second. When the van drove by, wasn't this the hat that was on the dashboard? Well, it looked like the same hat. What was that video? Hang on a second. Let me leave this up. Let me close my mail. Does that not look like the hat? Let me find that video of that slow motion. Is that the hat? Hang on a second. What was that thing called? Where is it? Gabby, here it is. Okay.
Pop quiz time. Which pair of these identical high-waisted
We don't even need the sound. Let's go where that van is. I'm gonna go in full screen, but let me just get to the van. See if I can pause it right there. I think that was the hat, right? Let me get a little closer and let me do a screenshot of that. I'm telling you, that is the hat. It looks just like the hat that he's wearing. Let's finish this video. Let me go back in full screen, guys, and watch the dash. You see it? See that hat? And if we go back to what Shredder sent, look at the hat. I mean, it could be a coincidence. I'm not saying, oh my God, look, it's the hat. But it looks like the same type of hat. Kenny's like, keep going. I mean, Sarasota. Okay, I'm going, Kenny. Let's keep going. We'll let this video right here was just really good. It's so slow though. Make you fall asleep. I might have to speed it up a little. Yeah, the hat is definitely the same type of hat that is on the dashboard. I don't see plants. And this is where she was found. 50 feet, 75 feet, 100 feet, 150. It doesn't matter, right? We can't argue over the distance. We have to wait for all the facts and just discuss our opinions. But yeah, that hat. Shredder, St. Augustine from Northport, what is that? About an hour and 30-minute drive? Erngy S. Hello. They both have an underbite. Oh, here we go again. You see the flip-flops. Like, what if he was disposing of Gabby at this point when they drove by? Another what if? What if they would have come by 10 minutes earlier? Would they have seen them fighting? And why did he drive the van back? Like, either he's really dumb or he already had something planned that he knew he was going to do, in my opinion. Why not you could have said, hey, Gabby left me. I woke up and she in the van was gone. Left nut. Hang on a second. Left nut Lester. It's not the same hat. There's another video from Red White, and it shows the front of the van, similar color hat, but not the same. Yeah, it's definitely similar. All right, guys. Let me check back in real quick and see if there's anything breaking. Nope. They're off. Sure, Kenny, give it to me. And I'll play it later because I'm going to go live when they go live again. But right now I'm going to go take care of some things in the real world. Kenny, my email is in every video in the description, and it's in the About Me section. And I'll check it when I get back. Everyone have a good day. Stay vigilant, guys. Keep your babies safe. And I hope that we're not forgetting about little Summer Wells in all of this. And little Michael Vaughn. Actually, Michael Vaughn's reward is up to almost $40,000. But as far as updates on anything in searching or anything like that found, not a peep. Have a good day, guys. I'll talk to you later.